Whenever a content creator critiques a game, someone inevitably says, well, if you're so critical, why don't you try making a game yourself? The assumption being, if you're pointing out flaws, surely you know how to do it better. And, honestly, there's a grain of truth to that, especially when the criticism comes from a place of wanting to understand why something doesn't work, not just to complain. That's when it starts to lean more toward analysis than just saying,
like, this sucks, or Bethesda did it again. And as a game critic, I do have another secret weapon: a wide experience in games, genres and design approaches. So today we are running an experiment. I won't be talking about someone else's game, I'll be talking about mine. My attempt not to just be critic, but actually to make a game. A real one, from scratch, in 3 days. Chapter 1. Ludum Dare and the Curse of Theme. My teammate and I decided to take part in Ludum Dare, a game jam where you have 48 or 72 hours to make a game based on a theme. No prizes, just deadlines, bugs and pure stress. So we failed it from the beginning. The winning theme of the Ludum Dare was the depths. That instantly killed all the inspiration. Fish, flashlights, fish with flashlights, it all felt painfully cliché. We had fleeting thoughts of a game about climber descending into a canyon, but aside from some vague rope mechanics, we didn't get far. Ironically, I later stumbled across Ludum Dare, an entry with a similar concept, except it was a hamster rappelling downwards, and honestly, they pulled it off really well, and hats off to the team. If you are watching, you made a cool little fancy game. We brainstormed ideas: underwater horror, descent-based platformers, mechanics tied to darkness, but nothing really clicked. Until we remembered a game I once reviewed on our channel, the DiggiMeow. In it, the player digs through the earth in search of resources. That got us thinking, what if we took that idea and turned it into a puzzle game instead of an idle one? The digging would be the core mechanics, but less idle and more challenging. Instead of digging down vertically, what if it happened sideways? That would let us play with gravity and falling blocks, like in Terraria. Before I go on, there is a brief addition. The game's artist and the creator of this cute cat and the whole game style, you'll see later, is also working on her own project, her first game, about cute animals and the day-by-day life of a florist. The demo is coming soon to the Steam, and if the art style appeals to you, feel free to wishlist it or try out the bouquet building demo. I already managed to create here an eucalyptus. Links to the Steam page and itch.io are in the description. Thanks! Chapter 2. Rookie Game Design. Dig on left, balance on the right. We started with sketches, mapping our potential puzzle design and how they might work, and immediately hit our first major wall. Designing puzzle is very different from playing them, especially if you want them to be easy to understand, progressively challenging, and stay in a game jam schedule. Our original plan was based on a pretzel generation. The idea was to assemble levels from pre-made puzzle chunks with modulus block that could be mixed and matched. In theory, it sounds solid. In practice, not so much. We didn't want players to get stuck, but we also didn't want them to blow through everything in 5 clicks. And then we had an oddly philosophical insight. Roguelites are great at hiding bad balance. Isaac, you know what I mean, don't you? If you get a brutally hard level, it isn't necessarily bad design, it just means random wasn't on your side this run. Next time you'll get better items or a simpler map. But when everything aligns and you are blowing stuff up with a broken build, it feels amazing. You remember that. Even if the balance is even more broken, but now it is in your favor. Chapter 3. First playtest. Blocks and coins. We already had some basic assets from the old Hellworld project, and we started building the visuals. Believe it or not, the original player character wasn't even a cat, it was one of my weird little art experiment, just a cube with a googly eyes. I love it, but sadly it didn't make to the final version. Our first working system was the block destruction mechanic, that laid the foundation for adding upgrades to motivate players between levels. The first version had 3 block types: water, sand and dirt. At this stage we used placeholder for the treasure, and it was our armor sprites. It was very simple, but it was enough to test if a core game loop works, and it does. Chapter 4. From concept to the game. We added prettier block and bombs, but here's the twist. Bombs did not exist as objects, they were just visual effects triggered randomly when breaking blocks. Oh hey, I found a bomb. Boom! It added a bit of the classic Minesweeper flair. They become a real element on the board much later. Next came reward visual feedback. Super simple, coins were burst out when you won. That tiny addition already made victories feel better. Later, we added sound to amp it up even more. Then came upgrades and the first big problems. The upgrade system was super basic, it always gives you a pickaxe upgrade, no randomness. Clearly, we understood we needed to reintroduce difficulty. We originally considered other block types, but with just 3 days to work, and the last one was consumed by our full-time jobs, so we weren't sure we had time to implement them all. Still, that overpowered PKs convinced us that we needed tougher blocks. So we added stone and hardened stones. Every name is placeholder just now. They were simple to implement. Basically, they are like dirt blocks, but they took more hits. And from our unused ideas pile, we resurrected the chaos block. When touched, it teleports to a random spot on the field. It added some unpredictability, unlike the simplified physics of sand and water, which, let's be honest, did not always work right in early builds. That wrapped up the first day, and we finally took a rest. If you liked the beginning, it's a good time to press the like button, but it's fully voluntary, as always. Chapter 5. Visuals, balance and polishing. The second day was all about layering in the details. We added more treasure types and started refining the upgrade system and the UI. The new UI dropped most of the technical placeholders in favor of something more visual and gamey. We added basic upgrades like pickaxe power-ups, bombs highlights and a second chance system. Oh my god, that second chance mechanics, absolutely cursed in the coding part. Our system wasn't built to handle partial resets, so I spent ages fixing bugs to make sure it was saved and restored properly. We also hit another unexpected challenge. Larger items broke the balance. Weirdly, the most balanced level in the game is the first one. Why? Because it follows strict rules and the first vase is always 4 tiles big. There is a set strategy to find it in a few clicks, super satisfying. And players have no upgrades yet, which makes tuning easier. And then came our momentum of truth. The kitten was added. That's why later the game finally got its name DiggiMeow! No, it's just meow. Before that, digging felt floaty. Now, each hit had a satisfying clink and the cat felt more alive. That build was already close to the final. From there, we just needed to balance hit counts, treasure values and block spawn rates. Upgrades were split into random ones pulled from the pool and reserved ones guaranteed on a certain levels, like always getting a pickaxe upgrade on level 5. Some upgrades like bomb perks or treasure finding tools were originally meant to appear later, but we left them in a random pool. It turned out to be a good call, something getting a big lucky upgrade early feels great and spices up the run. On the third day, we just needed to squash bugs, add intro and end screens. Then polish and it's all. Chapter 6. Engine, Scope and Closure. You might have noticed I never mentioned Unity or Godot. That's because we built it in Ebiten. Oh, you didn't hear about it? It's okay. It's a Go-based engine. And if you are not already comfortable with Go, I wouldn't recommend it. But personally, I love it. The level of control and the performance, especially in the web version, was very good. Here I will stop the programming part and let's get back to the game developing. Some features did not make it into the final game. A timer, a complex item balance and more block types. We also scrapped the idea of the cat leveling up and getting new gear or upgrades based on the treasure score or experience. For a short 20 minutes game, we opted for a simpler system. You just get upgrades automatically as you play. Some compromises saved us time. The firefly that highlights the last treasure, it was supposed to appear in later levels, but we gave it to players right away by rules of randomness. Same with stronger bombs. This ended up being fun from the start, so we kept them. Final chapter, the conclusion.
We're genuinely proud of how finished this game feels. It's not a prototype with the promise of we'll add more in the full version. It's a short, self-contained experience with a full progression, a final screen, and a sense of closure. And honestly, that's a pretty cool achievement, no matter what place we end up getting in Ludum Dare.
My personal favorite touch, the glowing firefly fillet start screen. If you enjoyed the breakdown, you can play the game on itch.io, link is in description. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video. До widzenia!